Okay, well I'm at the point where I'm putting the expander foam, the foaming resin, which is a polyurethane product. It comes in two parts. It's got the ISO and the poly component. Now what I do is I get two containers, clearly mark them. There's the ISO, kind of a dark colour, and the poly I've already put into the ice cream container resin to add the other equal part of ISO. Now expanding foam is kind of fun to use, but it's also sort of dangerous, so you've got to allow plenty of ventilation, and it's got to be about 70 degrees temperature. So what I've done is I've just on the last couple of holes here, I've got one to do there. I've got the plugs that I've cut out ready to put in, and I've got one down there, one here, and I've mixed up ready to go. So here we go. So you just simply add one half to the other half into an ice cream container, give it a bit of a stir. Now I'm using a stick from a gum tree, but of course in England you'd probably use a birch twig, and in America you'd probably use a stick, perhaps a hickory stick. So we're giving it a good stir with my special gum tree stick here. Now once it's gone a bit creamy coloured like that, you've probably got about 20 seconds to pour it in. Now it's good to pour it in when it's nice and liquid, so it goes into all the nooks and crannies, and you simply just hold it up, pour her in. Like that. And wait for the magic to happen. Pour it in. Now I've probably put a bit too much in there because I want it to be nice and firm within the hull. So if we look in there, we'll slowly see it's expanding. It's expanding and expanding. Now I've got the wooden plugs here. What I do is I put the plug over like that once it's hit the top, and then it'll be nicely sealed there. Now I've gone around the outside of the floor and put elastic all around there and all around the gaps. So the water will just, when it gets into the hull, it'll just flow down the hull, go into the last compartment, and then be bilged out. So I've pretty much got it all done here now. I've put the bituminous tar on all the rivets, and I've gone underneath the boat and put a layer of plastic paint on all the rivets as well. I've gone over there with elastic. Done about as much as I can to keep this old girl dry inside, and we can see the foam coming up now. It gets quite hot in there, so it's hopefully it'll sort of melt that bituminous tar into the rivets. You can see it's coming up to the top. At this stage I get one of these plugs and I just give it a bit of a coating of the polyurethane foaming stuff. So I'm going to put the plug in and it'll sit in there nice and firmly. You can see it's all around the outside there, and you'll notice I've got some gloves on. The reason being is that this stuff's kind of nasty. And here it comes. Come up to the top. Now when it just gets to that lip there, here it comes. I sit the plug in. Oops. Going down there, I've lost it. Got it again. It hasn't happened before, but anyway, here it comes. It's expanding and expanding. Set it up there. Wait for it to come up a bit. Now it's getting forced out a bit, so I've put a brick on there. The reason I do this is so the plug will be held down with a little bit of pressure, and the idea is that the plug will then sit nice and evenly with the floor. So it's also pushing all the foam into all the little areas, all the little nooks and crannies under the floor there. So it's not only just providing flotation foam, but it's also providing a nice, firm, solid, strengthening component to the whole structure. Now I've got a little hole, of course, in the middle of each plug, so that allows any pressure to escape. You don't want to try to hold this stuff back too much, otherwise you can pop a hole in your hull or pop the floor. And I just move the brick around like that. The reason being is that this stuff sets pretty solidly. It's not easy to sort of get it out of the way when it's still a bit liquidy. Okay, there we go. That's how you do it. That's how you foam the hull.